And hey everybody, just me, gonna do whatever we can, having fun, gonna blow some things up today, hopefully. Anyway, yeah, I think the plan is gain followers, blow things up, enjoy the day.
How are you doing on your Paradox build?
Slow. Yes.
Slow to build or slow to turn?
Both.
Correct answer is yes.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be... No, the Darkthorne project. Yes, folks, I decided... Yes, to anybody who might be listening, the project we're going to be trying is to... sorry, answering all the little twitchy things. Anyway, the plan... And apparently I'm the only person watching myself right now. Talk about ego, but the plan is to build slowly Darkthorne up. And it's going to be a slow build because, one, I'm going to get a lot of stuff on that tune over to tier 6 so I can at least put them in a fleet Darkthorne, because if I'm going to upgrade something, I'm going to upgrade a fleet ship.
Yeah, if you've got a ship that you can play upgrade and you're planning on using it any capacity, always use the fleet.
Yeah, always.
Or at least use the main version so you've got almost everything you need and then
Yeah. Yeah, the fact is, I'm gonna have to go through, get a bunch of, and we're gonna do assembly of plasma. This one, the first point is, well, all the reps at tier 5. Yay! That was the first important part. Want to get the discovery up to tier 5 at least. But yeah, my theory is going to be we're going to get a better name for this, but we're going to turn this thing into a tank. Just for the record, let's take it outside and see how it turns. Slow. How long will it...
turns? When did that happen? I thought it just exists.
Oh no, what we do, we don't turn the ship. We turn the universe around the ship because that's actually a little faster. Still doesn't have cruiser commands, so it'll be so it won't be the most effective tank, but it's a warbird. Warbirds don't have cruiser commands, they have singularity commands. But no, I have it up on the stream right now. There are no cruiser commands for this monster. Yeah, we'll need that down the road. Any articles, any advice people can come up with? I mean, clearly one of the things we're going to do is, I guess, tech power flow module, which gives me hull penetration, so it might be able to keep some DPS up. Right now, until I build 2 pieces of discovery rep, it's just a simple 4-piece Iconian set. That'll have to change. Omar Hawkman's watching. Yeah, I'm going to go to DD tank. It's just I mean, it's going to be a reman. Obviously, the first point is going to be going through all this crew and seeing how many SROs I have, which odds are none. I'm using the Daredek skin. If I'm going with the big space whale, I'm going with the classic big space whale. Yeah. I mean, you can use pieces of it to make a decent refit, but
Yeah. With that looks okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Looks like someone's putting it. This looks like someone's taking the Daredek just to make the sandwich for us.
Yeah. I can go back to the flotilla for this. But yeah. I do have the Delta Rising bundle. I also have, which is good for short-term Mar Hawkman, I do have actually the Vanguard officers. We will be putting the Vanguards on here when we really start this. Let's go customize this thing just to manage. But my eventual goal is, let's turn off the bloody visuals. I use KDF, but I'm not. It's just he's KDF. That's all. We're not worried too much about that. But yeah. Here we have the D-Daredex, the D-Rihu, which it's on the screen. What the hell is that thing?
I quite like the top of the hull, not the rest of it.
Yeah.
The top hull, I quite like that.
Yeah.
Not the things sticking out, just like the silver bits that kind of curved around the front. Quite like them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like the bits on the hull. It's just that the whole rest of the hull just doesn't look right for it.
Yeah, the bottom bit of the hull just makes it look like it's wood.
The Krilla, that almost looks interesting, but I miss that little beam going from the bottom to there.
It's also all swept out.
Yeah. So we're going back. We're gonna go with the classic. I mean, the only thing that I'd probably possibly consider is like a nacelle refit, and that'd probably be the one I don't have. So yeah, we are going with the D-Daredex.
I think the legendary version of this, if they do it along the same sort of lines as the D7 and have it as a 60,000 Zen release, the legendary could be interesting and potentially
Yeah.
because it's just one of those classics.
Yep.
Kind of like a timeless design.
No. Well, the only.
Assimilated, doesn't it?
Yep. Looks slightly similar with that, but then again, I got the assimilated module on here, so I might be having some of the little bits on here. I probably forgot to turn that off, but it's too white.
I wonder what it look like with the camera shield. I mean, generally speaking, the camera shield looks fine.
Generally, yeah. And I think we're going to go with the classic green, though.
The thing is the classic in STO, it just looks a little bit too light of a green. I should have sworn it was a darker green in the show. Or maybe it's just the lighting.
That's the lighting. That's. brown almost looks, brown kind of has a better, interesting look.
Yeah. What do it look like with that brown and the Kiri? The Kiri kind of makes it look slightly rusty, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
brown and the Kiri could be interesting.
Yeah, but then you lose your green glows because they'll turn all red.
Hey, finally I've got a battle cruiser.
Nice.
And an Charla pilot escort. How did we get that?
We're gonna go.
What I've got, I'm like, I don't even ever remember buying these. I've got a Clash Command Dreadnought. What the hell did that come from?
Probably some freebies over the years. Well, we're going to go with brown. We'll rename it later. Obviously, as I said, there's going to be a lot more equipment to get for this thing.
You go for a simulated plasma?
I'm going. What my plan will be is a simulated plasma, Reman Captain. I'll start slowly finding. I'll start finding an SRO crew for the whole thing. At least it's got a command station. It's got a 3-thing command station, so I can do a lot with that. But that's the project down the road, because it's going to take a lot of EC and a lot of work to put this thing together. And I agree more, Hogman. Romulans do have interesting hull materials. It's big bird like that, though. You kind of need something dark, and I think the brown hull material, at least, since the greens reflect light way too much, just kind of have to get the Fikiri shield for it. Which, you know what? I'm thinking about it. Might as well just can go grab it right now. Yeah, avoid the Reman materials on this, but we gotta think too on this ship as we look at this. It's gonna be what, about a 30, 35, 40-year-old warbird? I hate that bug. I don't want to think about it. Like I said, the browns look good. Reman Type 1, kind of black, kind of a little shiny. I don't like. You guys can see the mouse. I don't. Yeah.
Doesn't look good shiny, does it? It needs
No. And I don't like that thing across the front from Reman Type 1. Reman Type 2. That has potential.
That's not too bad. I actually think that's closer to the. It's almost like someone's taking the ship out of the Next Generation and upscaled it. It's just got the right colour of green, just with that extra detail.
Yeah. We're gonna go Reman Type 2. I don't even think this needs Fikiri shields at that point. Yeah, I agreed. Well, the Reman materials don't look that good sometimes. I mean, I kind of like the blue lights on here. It just gives a little character. The nacelles still have the green color. The purple in the vents actually doesn't even look that out of place on here. Or I guess those are shuttle bays or something. I think this might be our winner for today.
Not the vents and the aircon units.
Yeah. Well, we know it has shuttles. I'm thinking these two are shuttle bays down here, the top ones.
downside, if they are actually shuttle bays on the top and the bottom, which I think they are, they would actually make it really good from a carrier design perspective. That's actually really good.
Yeah.
Why do we not have pets?
Yeah, because back then they didn't have the only thing Romulan that had pets was probably the scimitar. Which, yeah, I could try tanking with that, but too obvious. So yeah, this is going to be our point here, so it means we can do a little of our goals today. We have enough stuff here. We're going to do two pieces of the Tilly set. One singularity core. And one deflector shield. Because those will be important. And like I said, right now we're doing the basics. I'm not ex-shipping the fleet ship because, well, the fact is, I just don't think, I'll ex-ship the fleet ship. I just don't feel like ex-shipping the basic ship. I just feel like that'll be a waste of a token. The precious tokens. The precious.
I'd get it perfect as much as you can before worrying about flavouring.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'll leave.
Wait to get your cherry on top.
Yep. Fleet X ship is the cherry on top. Right now, I mean, I could X ship it, but I kind of get the feeling something's going to come down that I'm going to want to use the token. I'm going to decide I want to use the token on. Did I lithium already? No, I wasn't. I just didn't want to fill up. Okay. So yeah, we'll get those done. I'll do the Lorca fire control. If I do Lorca fire control and a torpedo, I guess torpedo will go replace a cutting beam on the aft. Yeah. Yeah, I'd still get the two-piece on there instead of the, which doesn't give me the hyperflux for the moment. So yeah, we're going to build a few things here. Then we'll take we're going to rename this beast, which means I need. Well, let's just come up with something here quick. There, that sounds like some translation of a Romulan name Warhawk. What does Warhawk mean? It means great big bird that doesn't turn. Obviously, the other point out, we'll probably have to put some competitive engines on this thing. Probably with this big monster, we would do some fortified. Later, because we don't have the dilithium to do the fortified right now. Yeah, my plan, like I said, on this thing is going to be fire at will, move slowly around, and let it die where it has to. We will be replacing everything except maybe the experimental. We will be replacing all the weapons that we can with Borg beam arrays when we get them. I can transfer like 2 to this right now. And we're gonna, and we have plasma modules. Eventually we'll go to the colony later when we get more. When we get some more stuff, and we will build more there. But for the moment, I'm going to leave you guys for a moment here because I have to go take nature calls for a moment. So I will be right back.
Black alert.
Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. But yeah, I'm looking at the stations on this thing. I can load Photonic Officer in here. And that, if my normal tank's any indication, the right skills on there, that should make up for a lot. But yeah, our first job is clearly going to be... Let's see if there's any recruitment on the current map. Nope, we have to go back to New Romulus for that. So let's see how it flies. Yeah, the odds are we're flying very slowly. And we'll be bad out here, but you know, out in space, this thing looks pretty damn good. But yeah, clearly I'm just going to have to start doing Romulan duty officer assignments. Have to grab up a few patrols. Going to have to do a lot of things here. when it turns, it will be very deliberate. I can. Yep. It will have to be a fire-wheel ship with a lot of beam arrays because by the time I can get around for a dual beam bank, it's going to, whatever it is probably going to be already dead from everybody else. Alright. Now I'm down here. Let's see. Recruitment. No recruitment. They disappoint me. And there's not enough here to really start on a lot of stuff, so okay. That's the end of the side project for this set. At this point, progress will be made later. It's not my phone beeps again. With a weather update. Okay. Let's go into a real tank. Now that we're in a real tank, let's get into a real TFO today. Anybody out there who wants to join in for what will be an infected elite? I see one. Anybody, if you're on stream and you want to try running with us, feel free. I feel the tank's good enough that it might keep some of you alive. And if you don't, well, then we'll worry about that later. And apparently nobody's giving us X's or anything there, so. Alright. Getting build advice from Slav again. I don't know. Maybe he's related to Neil. Like I said, if anybody wants to join in on an ISE, throw an X up into the PC chat, or throw an X up, or give me a name out here. Mark Hawkman wants to join us. Okay, we will DQ.
I think you can just invite without DQing. I think it automatically substitute.
Oh yeah. Hey, the way this goes, I don't take chances.
all.
I'm actually at DS9.
Okay, so take a detour then.
Until then, enjoy the ship porn. As I said, anybody watching in stream and wants to join in, we'll try. Hey, look, it's another hangar pad. I don't have them on here, so I'd have to put you in charge to grab them if you want to, which I don't mind doing. So I'll throw you in to invite him because but as Mar Hawkman says, yeah, the Talus is a tiny little warbird. As we look, with lots of little Borgy stuff hanging off his.
I'm guessing they're just taking from his characters.
Could be. Oh, so one problem with this says
normally it's just rotating through his turns.
Ah. Yeah, if he doesn't want to join, I guess it's queue us back up and wait.
Oh, he's ready already.
Alright, invite him in. Let's. Team of 4 has a better shot than a team of 3. Yep. But yeah, we're gonna. Thing is, we're gonna do a little testing today of a little ability we threw in called Suppression Barrage. Which was doing a little tank off over the weekend with some people, and Ollie was running that and kind of recommended it because it lowers our outcoming damage, so we'll give it a shot.
I'm hoping we'll get a good run on this election since the changes. Because this thing's so bloody squishy, you have to be careful on ISA, you never mind ISA.
And like I said, Suppression Barrage, at least with all, if I can get, if we're close enough for all the masses, that'd be fit. That would lower some of the. That would lower the target's damage by 50%, lowers their speed, lowers their turn rate, lowers their accuracy, so stuff will miss you more, and it'll do less damage if it hits you. In theory, this could be a very good ability. In practice, we're going to find out. Hopefully. I really do hope, because I really hate waiting. I really do. I wish we had a regular 5th. Oh wait, we did have a regular 5th. He's not around. It's all Mark's fault.
What was this?
Yeah. Because Mark Hawkman, your Borg stuff isn't really there. At least it's only the engine that's glowing red. Apparently, the rest of the stuff doesn't seem to glow red. For your ship. Yeah, my resting is 143. We've seen enough to know that's going to go up significantly.
This gets to about 210. I would kind of expect that to get to 220, 230.
It has. All depends on how things go. And there we go.
There's the wheel.
Yep.
Alright, alright, kiddies. Now it's time to blow things up really good.
Well, let's see. If I were Mark, I wouldn't. I would then now go try to fly. Ooh, a big vengeance. This could be a very interesting run.
The situation is grim. There's more.
Who knows?
25 hull, so he's not built up a tank and he's built up a defense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. More to floating around 210. On call. Probably. Oh, the spheres are gone. Yep. No, there's one back there. I'll go after it. Hang around to the second point here. He's doing pretty well on health, it looks like. Some of those chains might be useful for... Yep. Yep, which is great for me because that's where I do more damage. Because your chains seem to be helping too, because I notice. I think considering nobody really got in any trouble, and when it did, I was able to hit the structural capacitor to help. No deaths. I feel like it tanked a lot.
It's quite nice.
108. That's a higher damage than this thing normally does. It's gone up. So what was my threading percent? What was my attacks in?
I mean, you might want this result, but I don't know. I mean, it was only 93.43. I don't think you.
93.43.
I don't think you want this pass, do you?
Well, probably. I don't know. I might. I might not want that.
I've uploaded it on like.
Okay. Let's take a look here. I'll see if I can throw it on the screen for people after I take care of that.
Matt did a good job then.
Yep.
Just a shame with this ship that you can't put scatter volley 3 on it.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see. 95% of the damage in, 93% of the attacks in. Let's see if I can make this thing show up here.
Could maybe do it as another layer.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. So give me a moment here, folks. I'm gonna add in something. Let's see here. apparently I'm going to have to do this the other way, so give me a moment here, I gotta change things. Alright, there we go. But yeah, this is kind of the good stuff as far as tanking. And then when you look at this, when you look at these numbers for everybody else, I feel good about that run.
Good run all around that one, to be honest.
Yeah. But more Hawkman, man, I'm in a tank that isn't a DPS ship. We gotta work on your stuff, man. Yeah, damage into my ship, 10 million. Anyway, that's the fun part. Back to this. Okay. But yeah, I really am happy about that one because that was for this a really good run.
Yeah, good run all around. Good
Yeah.
tanking, good flying.
Yep. So we have determined that if you can't, at least as far as points go, I mean, I didn't get any trouble at all, which was a good team point, but apparently the Suppression Barrage, trading Reverse Shield Polarity 3 for Suppression Barrage was a good choice.
Good to me, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had changed over one of my other points for Shield Polarity 1, and that I think it was actually just one of my hull heals, but I didn't even need it. So that was a Elmar Hawkman, what are you trying to fire? Are you trying to fire? Are you doing beams, or are you trying to do a torp build? Plasma torps. Okay, you're going to need a trait. It is on the exchange. You have to go buy it. It's called Ceaseless Momentum. Get it while you can because it is a cross-faction trait. It is normally on a KDF, I believe, Lobby ship. But as you start firing torpedoes, the cooldown rate lowers on them, so... So now we got about a half hour till the next one. I might change over and start a little bit of money making on a Romulan for a few, or a Reman. Actually, I got 3 builds I'm going to go on. I'm going to go change over. We're going to do a little work on another I got 3 different project characters going here. I have actually 4 technically, but we're going to go to one of the projects. And Hopefully I can pull this thing up I need. Sound's gonna go out for me while I look up, while I go grab some stuff, so. Because what we're going to try to do here, if this works, is we're going to be trying our hand at we're building a little bit of a cannon build while we're doing this, so at least that is my generalized hope. And that's not it. Alright. Thought I had everything I needed kind of set up, but I didn't. So, noting where I am on that, it's going to mean I have to change a few things out.
That was annoying. I was just re-engineering something and I managed to get exactly what I wanted on the first go. And then I went to go and press the lock button and accidentally knocked spacebar on my keyboard and it pressed randomise again. It took me another 10 attempts to get it.
Just to make your life even more fun. Oh, and I get pinged on messages. Ah, nothing important. Okay. So apparently my Discord is not carrying over stuff. Let's turn that up a little bit and check that. Well, Mar Hawkman, nobody's really talking right now except me, so it's going to be me. So we're dealing with me.
looking on the Phoenix store. The rare duty officer of Hakeem looks like he's got an interesting ability that could be useful on a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Causes hazard emitters to apply an emergency hazard emitters to any friend within less than 50% hull within 3 kilometers of the target.
Yeah.
It's quite useful.
Yes, it is. As we can kind of tell here, as what I'm doing, I am not caring what these people exactly look like. I'm just kind of commissioning some people I'm going to need. But the fun point here is we're taking a few notes. We're getting a Mulguy ready for some runs.
Research boosts worth getting from the exchange.
At times.
The tech boosts look like they could be of use, but the research boosts kind of seem like they could be quite expensive because it's a case of like double fuck all, still fuck all.
Okay. Well, this guy will take a few to get completely ready. I'll just go back to one of my DPS points for the next run.
Okay, I'll switch over to Darkmom.
When was the last time you slept, ET?
Last time I slept? About 10 hours ago?
Yeah, you look exhausted.
Had a long day.
Can I do anything to help? Because, Jesus, you look tired as hell. It's what I'm going to look like tomorrow, but Jesus.
No, I'm actually pretty good overall.
My day starts at 4 a.m. tomorrow and doesn't end until probably 2 a.m. on Friday. I'm sorry, on Wednesday. So, yeah, I know exactly what you do right now.
You are being rather insulting while I'm on air. It's...
I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm saying you look tired, dude. You need to pace yourself.
Yeah, probably. Or I probably just need to go get some sleep after all this is said and done, but that's gonna be when that'll happen when that
If I
happens.
can do anything to help, I am happy to do so.
Nope, not much you can do right now. Right now, I need to figure out who's gonna be the next victim. Probably this one.
Good evening, Abderrahim. I don't know if I said that right.
Good evening. Yeah, all I'm doing. Yeah, basically, for anybody who wants to know, all I'm doing is just kind of getting the SRLs I got recently all.
Command books, friggin'.
Because I'm working on a cannon build, doing it on Romulan, so first point was to remove a bunch of crew and put in a bunch of superior Romulan operatives.
Oh, you like going for the last bit of it, DPS you can get?
No, I'm going for the first big bit of DPS I can get. This is one of the last bits are going to be a lot of trait mining and things like that, but
Deserves some kind of respect.
I'll buy an intel manual for this guy, but that's something else too. Let's see, engineering.
When is this next book of yours coming out?
As soon as it's done.
Okay.
I don't know Mom's. I don't know Mom's the one who coordinates the books, so.
Oh, what the hell? Destroy Borg ships. I wonder where I can do that.
I don't know.
Wish there's no Borg around anymore.
Anyway, break time from that. Change over to a different tune.
Subtract me if you're dead.
And hey, lava spewing Kraken, how's it going tonight?
Ow. Well, that hurt.
Okay. Epic, good for you. Epic's good. Well, long day. Having more fun now, blowing things up. Slowly throwing together a Mogai to go crank out a little bit of painful destruction upon the enemies.
Painful destruction is always good.
Mm-hmm. Especially once they're pained.
Yeah. What the hell?
The hell you say?
I was doing a hell of a lot of damage. I don't know how it was accomplishing that. It wasn't even targeting me.
Well, Boom, I think more Hawkman's build was attempting a torque build, so that would probably mean DPS.
Is he online?
I don't know.
Have you got him on your friend list?
Yeah, he's online. Or Hawkman, you still want to join us for this? Looking for that fifth. Because it sounds like Frost is a little busy.
No, I'm not busy. Need me? I'm reading something. I was distracted, I apologize.
Hmm.
I can hop on to Frost right now. Or focusing right now.
When did you learn how to read?
When did I learn how to read?
Yeah. That's in your new development, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't remember. It's written down somewhere, but I don't know how to read it, so I don't know.
If you've got a DPS character, I would go for that.
Yeah.
No, Matt Hawkman's just axed.
Oops, too late.
Yeah,
Whatever. You don't
First
need
one
that.
person. You could come around the next one. We'll need a science.
Yeah.
Alright, you in.
I don't know, it'll be around in a half an hour.
Wee woo. Well, what's a half hour? If you can't read, you can't tell time.
That's true. You got me there.
Time is relative anyway.
I have to go to New Orleans tomorrow.
Mm.
Situation is grim.
My flight is at 4:15.
Oh, no problem. At my first point, so we will have another cooldown soon enough.
Slowly stopping the boss and have the boss there.
Yeah, again.
Why is there still a queue behind us? What's going on there?
It didn't despawn. I'm here.
Trying to concentrate on the spears because obviously seems to have locked down.
No problem. All these little clear out all the stuff that got in the way, so...
Trying to kind of concentrate on where you are.
Yeah.
Not taking time.
Yep. You're going down, here's that for you.
Simply to go down.
Yeah. They don't help your healing any, but it does help your damage, which means less time.
I think that's kind of the main problem on it. You can't kill things at a point as quick as you can nowadays. I'm usually okay when I can if I can get to the top of the tree and just do enough damage to it, that's the Alexander pass on the flank.
That's what I'm hitting anyway, so...
Sensors confirm the transport conduit has been destroyed. However, scans of the starbase are still being disrupted. We will need to send an away team there to look for survivors.
Around 4:35. But 4:22 does confirm that this thing is, in a good run, is capable of 400k plus, which is
83% in.
that's not bad.
I think I might swap the dual beam out in front of this, put it back to being a normal beam. I'll upload this, by the way.
Okay, no problem. I will bring this up onto the screen when
Hello?
hello.
There it is. God damn.
Read my mind. I literally just messaged you.
Makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
I fucking hate Discord.
Some days it can be a pain. Yeah, 422 is not a record for the ship, but you know what? It just proves that this thing will do what it needs to. Let's see if anybody did get any records.
I didn't.
Like I said, mine's
Did mine that a record?
Mark Hawkman got a record. That's
I had Dark
for combat time.
He's number 16. I didn't see what his part showed. Is that better than what he had? Or?
You had 422 is what Demac had you at Dark. Is that
Yeah,
a record?
422.88. No, I did 435 a couple.
435 is his record, Dim.
Yeah. But you know what? As I said, mostly when I run this ship, I'm trying to confirm that I can do 400, that I can consistently get in the 400Ks on this ship. And as we can see right now, we did it again, so it can consistently, on a good team, get a 400K run. That's alright. I mean, we're used to having crowds in here.
Well, we've worked out DTs in order for you to get your records on your tank for you.
Yeah. And we'll get your tank built up a little more, a few little things here and there as we find stuff out. Like I said, I think that suppression barrage, if you have room to slot suppression barrage 1 on your ship, I think that might be a good choice for you.
Problem is I can't. It's a commander, isn't it?
Yeah. No. No. 1's lieutenant commander, 2 and 3 are commander.
Right. This is on this one. The command only goes up to lieutenant engineering. Lieutenant, sorry.
Lieutenant with. Yeah, that would be a problem.
Need to get the ship sorted.
Yeah. We need to get you into an Odyssey.
We need to get Mark into an Odyssey.
Mark has an Odyssey. Mark just Mark's just, I don't want to fight tank until I have everything. But how do you know if you have everything?
You don't need everything to do a half decent job. I mean, I don't do
Right.
amazing. I don't have everything, but I'm doing okay.
I mean, hell, before it turned into a lot of tweaking here and there, my tank was doing like 50% and keeping everybody alive, and keeping most everybody alive. Last run, 93%. And damages for everybody got ridiculously low. I cannot complain about that. But we know some people will. Yeah. Maybe he was upset because we didn't take him on the run. As far as points go, why do I keep doing that?
What done the daily today?
Hope you did.
No, not done it yet. Let me switch to another ship. I'm going to do the daily. Let's have a vote, DT. What do you reckon? Do it in a teamer, do it in a D7, or do it in a Manticore?
You haven't taken your Manticore out for a while. I kind of want to see the Manticore come out. You've been working a lot more on the D7 and the teamer than you have the Manticore.
Yeah. Still don't have the look of it, but it is fun to fly. There we go. Would you like to join me for the red alert with all of the 3 seconds it will take?
Sure, I will join you for the red alert for that whole 3 seconds.
What do you reckon? Hawk, Tholian, Halachi, Aqual, or Zenka?
I feel like a Tholian red alert. I feel like a Tholian. I mean, if I lock onto the flagships, they're dead in 10 seconds.
I'm tempted to change this ship over to beam overload rather than fire at will, but the fact that I'm deliberately keeping that Phaser Lotus console, which gives you like 12% severity, that in combination with the fire at will just makes it look just like an eruption of phase power, so it just looks cool.
Yeah. We've seen the ship, it's like just a big giant beam fires out the front.
Yeah.
This one's a little bit slow, but
So much for those Tholian tarantulas.
yeah, it's just being one of these weird load-ins. Maybe done before I'm out, before I can move. There we go. Not anymore. Show up. Oh, the load-in bug. Okay, blah blah. Oops, we're out of load-in bug. Oh, there's ships to kill. Boom. 10 seconds later.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what I can do to totally share the screen.
All right.
I'm just wondering what I can do to
Let's take a look here.
So let's start with equipment, because that's the easy one. I've got one idea, but I don't know if I'm keen on doing it. And that's swap out the Terran phaser for another sensor linked.
Well, are you using preferential targeting here? You know what I would do if I were you?
This is a fire at will build.
Okay, it's still fire. Okay, so yeah, you're gonna need. No, you can still do preferential targeting. You can change out your Terran phaser for the Terran cannons, and run your turret and your cannons on rapid fire. Because preferential targeting to fire will to rapid fire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those Terran cannons do a good job. I can't lie about that.
Okay. Well, I think I've got the Terrans in the bank, so let's consider that. I'm pretty happy with the ones in the aft.
Yeah,
2 Omnis and a turret.
yeah.
They'll do nicely.
Like I said, going with that, use it. If you go preferential, your cannons, your turret will do a lot more damage. Whereas me, it's a setup shot for my overloads. You have. Go back to your stations here. I'm kind of curious. Okay, you do have a torpedo spread, so, and I'm guessing you're doing ETM on there. Yep, very good. Very good, very good.
I mean, one idea I did have, but it'd make it a little bit, I'd have to change things around, probably make it a little bit more squishy, would be to have 3 tacticals and then run a half bat.
That could work. Another thing you might be able to do. Okay, you're right. That's Firewall 3 you got there. That's 2. I'd change that. I'd go pick up Firewall 3 and change out that Omega for Firewall 3.
No, that is Pirate Will 3.
Okay. Okay, it's hard. Yeah, because of the resolution loss, it's hard to tell.
I'm running, as my main tactical, I'm running Hematite 1, Spread 2, Pirate Will 3, Omega 2.
Yeah, that works. Okay, what's especially seating on your engineer?
Command.
Yeah. Can't think of anything in command that's going to give you a ton of any command abilities off the top of my head. I could be wrong, and there are others here who know this better. I've been wrong before. I could be wrong again. There are people who know this better. Is there anything in command that can up his firepower? Any folks? Always ask the community when you can.
Yeah, bad idea.
Because I gotta admit, as I learn things about certain specialty seating, I've been kind of getting to like it. Like, for example, I threw Destabilized Warp Core on here, which blowing things up does splash damage.
But I've been wondering why to fit in the point defense bombardment warhead, what to drop for it.
You might be... You might be able to... I mean, you have a maneuverable ship. And you're keeping the phaser lotus, so...
I mean, I'm not. I mean, I could drop the phaser lotus, but it's just so long. It just does a, especially like when you've got everything else amped up, it just does a ridiculous amount of damage.
You might lose. You might be able to lose because you're firing a lot. You might be able to lose tachyokinetic, lose a little bit of your, lose some of your flight turn, which that ship still has a destroyer that has good flight turn anyway.
So I'd lose crit chance and severity.
Yeah, but the bioneural gives you a bigger crit severity.
I mean, one thing that I was considering is dropping Domino, because
That
the
could
only
work.
thing, because you do get firing cycle haste, but you don't really need that as much from what I've read.
Yeah.
Fire at will.
Yeah, you're doing fire at will.
Yeah, you get 25% bonus, but you get plus 33 from point defense.
Go for the point defense instead of the domino. See how that works. I mean, really, the big point on anything is you don't know till you test it out. So that doesn't help any.
Raise my crit chance at 5-1. I mean, what am I losing there from that? I'm losing plus 15% at 1 phaser damage, 20 accuracy. So
Yeah.
accuracy is not amazing, but it's not awful either.
Yep. And if you, like I said, if you're worried about your crit points, what I'm running, getting, if you haven't got them yet.
I mean, the accuracy goes up when I put this into tactical mode.
Yeah.
Put it into tactical mode, I get plus 30 accuracy.
Yeah.
I get plus 5.
And you should, and that's where your phaser lance works anyway. So that's the best point. What do you have for?
It seems like a great console though.
Yeah. What do you have for DOFs?
Same as my other builds.
Yeah.
On this.
I've never really looked at your DOS before, so I was kind of curious.
So, actually, no, this is different. I need to change this around.
Yeah, you don't need 3 technicians if you're only doing half bat.
There's a fallback right now.
That's full bat, yeah. I gotta say on my overload, I'm only running 2 on mine. I'm running the 2 10 of 10s, and it seems to work. So you might be able to get away with losing one of your technicians.
Well, the other ones have this layout. So, 3 projectile weapon officers, 3 technicians. I think. Hold on, let me just double check something.
Well, you're running one for Colt. Actually, you know what might help you? The projectiles that give you stacking crit severity and crit chance.
I'm just checking the code now, the notes.
Yeah.
Now I changed something.
Yeah. You can see what I got on mine here, and a lot of that can translate directly over to yours. Some of it won't, obviously, but...
Something's missing. Where's that? Flip ships. Something's right about this.
Yeah, no problem. I'm just looking at... What's my...
Okay, that's what I was saying. So my other builds are beam overload. I have a beam overload officer, a torpedo officer to reduce the recharge time, and one to do crafting and stacking critical severity.
Yeah, I'm literally running. I got 2 energies on my build for crit chance, crit severity, and 2 torps for crit chance, crit severity. And considering the 3-piece Lorca does fire torps all the damn time. That seems to be a pretty good. That seems to be a pretty good compromise. But I mean, if you're worried about you, but if you're firing real, but if you got, I don't think, I mean, you got the cooldown. Your cooldowns are pretty good already. You have the pieces in there to get that good, to get that chance for the firing cycle haste. And hello everybody who's been joining us, who's joined us on stream since we are up to 16 viewers. I'm Darkthorne. Mom's off doing mom stuff today. So I guess we're the wild part of Wild Stallions. Anyway, now we're just going over builds, blowing stuff up, having a little bit of fun today. Trying things out. Should go back to the Romulan and check and go back, start buying more stuff for the cannon build. Because I'm going to be in the boat that you are, Boom. When I do that, it's going to be a different ship. It's an entirely different kind of flying, and it's going to be kind of just, how many shots can I put into something? Hundreds.
You know what? I think I'm happy with that. I don't think I've got any energy weapon officers that are good for fire at will ever.
I don't think there are any. I think the best point, like I said, for like what I was doing was stacking crit chance, stacking crit severity.
So this guy has a 20% chance to reduce torpedo recharge time.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has a 20% chance. So 40% of the time the torpedoes are going to fire quicker. I can live with that.
They don't stack on each other, so the math's not exactly 40%, but the math, I think, I mean, it's kind of like it doesn't double, but it does lower it some. I mean, technically, I think it's like each one, whatever their percentage to cause that reduced cooldown is. I think it's more. Each one has a shot at trying to do it. Each one, whichever one triggers is the only one that'll do it, and you have each time it goes, it's like they each have a chance to do it until they both go into cooldown. Since they can only do it so many times. I don't know. I don't know what the math is personally, but
Yeah. I mean, interesting. I think it would be interesting to bad English, and it would be novel to put this as a beam overload. I think it was so how much damage the phase alone this would do with beam overload.
I don't know if it's affected by beam overload, but the fact is, I think it's the Lotus shots are basically overload shots anyway.
So,
Yeah, usually.
today was a bit more, I think.
Yeah, so it's to the wiki. Dun 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 dun. Okay, it's not affected by firewheel overload or subsystem targeting. So your firewall doesn't affect it, your overload doesn't affect it, none of your fire modes affect it, unfortunately. But it's damn fun.
Yeah, it's a very fun console.
But any of your phaser boosting consoles or damage boosting consoles do affect it.
DPS and are you tanking?
You want a DPS?
Yeah, go on then. If you DPS, so if you tank for this one, I'll.
No.
In fairness, I'll probably log off after this, but I'll tank next time.
All right, I'll take.
Okay, I'll put the team together now.
It is. It is. I mean, the fact is, I think my tank's settling into a good place, I think. If that last run was any indication with it, it's settling in to be a very good tank. Oh, another ship I heard is really great for tanking. The sticks out of the log boxes.
Yeah, I read that one myself. So missed you one.
Yeah.
Might be okay. Let's just try.
Unless Mar Hawkman, you still with us? You still want to join in? Okay, Mar Hawkman on keybinds. There is a trick to it. I mean, the order you put stuff in is important, as is the order your weapons are actually in. I found that out. Like for mine, all my stuff on 9 and 10 are my keybind stuff. 9 goes across in 10, so I kind of have my buff ups at 9 on mine. And then the stuff that is primary on 10, and then the rest of the stuff, while it is keybind, I tend to use it more as a click when we need it. So that is how at least I do my keybinds.
Into a minute.
But yeah, more Hawkman, if you're doing a torp build, this one's been drilled into my head enough from many sources. Get the trait of ceaseless momentum right. It'll cost you some EC on the exchange, but for a torp build, it's going to be very important to you. And then of course torpedo officers, anything that can lower your cooldowns, and then of course the torp officers that stack your crit chance and crit severity. Don't have to worry about emergency power officers because you're doing torpedoes. And are you firing the beach ball console on your warbird?
Q was in a second.
No problem.
Just making a drink.
Well, I know in about an hour I'll be going after a drink. The beach ball's a good torpedo.
Which one's beach ball again?
The destabilized plasma torpedo on the Tullis. The tier 6 and the legendary have it. It's just a huge plasma torpedo. Does less splash damage. Considering their torpedoes, anything more Hawkman, it might. The other thing you might want to do, because I'm guessing you have mines on the aft of your ship, you may want to dump your mines out at the beginning and then have them locate to your first target.
The situation is grim. All attempts to hail the starbase have failed. We must begin.
There's that position there, but and suddenly I shoot forward. He's way out of position, I can't help him. This thing's just I'm being jumped around all over the place here, which is weird.
Step down there.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah. greatest plan. I just feel like I'm in a position today for a lot of stuff. Across.
Shield take damage, you have to about where you this one's a sharp one, it's doing 10,000 laser damage. Detonate pulses with targets per dose.
Nope, we're good. On the rear part of the beginning, this has been a pretty good run.
Sensors confirm that the transport convoy is being destroyed. However, our scans of the starbase are still being disrupted. We will need to send an away team there to look for survivors.
Yeah, it felt like at the beginning I was getting bounced around everywhere, but 96, but
Not your best, but still more than good enough for what we were doing.
yeah.
71.
Yeah, like I said, I was out of position in the beginning, and
I mean, if it was me, I'd say don't get too fixated on the total attack in percentage. I mean, the aim is...
Nobody died. That's the other big
yeah,
point.
That's the aim.
Part of it's the damage going in, and except for having that one point where I couldn't do any healing, where he was up, where he had to go pull back. That no, that was part load-in, part flying errors on my part. So I'm not fixated on that. The fact that nobody died.
The record for this ship, though, in all fairness.
Which does well, which is good for that anyway.
I wonder how much damage I was getting out of that Lotus. Chemosite did the most damage for me.
Of course, because Chemosite, because your fire will, it can proc on each shot.
I mean, allegedly, the Phaser Lotus only did 6k DPS, which doesn't sound right.
That's because it takes so long to fire.
Voice of Our Prophets did 18k on its own. Chemosite did 19k.
Yep.
Herring Task Force Phaser Beam did 18. Wide Angle did 18.
Yep.
Well, not a bad spread.
No, not bad. Not bad by any means. Yeah, I think the highest when I do my run, on my DPS runs, yeah, it's the Terran Task Force, but there's more of them.
To be honest, for a ship I've not spent too much time tuning, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah. No, it's really not bad.
I've kind of come to the conclusion now for the ships that I only mainly use for Barbie builds. Anything that's 200k plus is nice. Anything that I want to use seriously, 300k plus is better.
Yeah.
The advantage I've got is my D7 is both a Barbie build and my record holder.
Hey.
Best of both.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if I posted this Manticore like into one of the threads on Reddit or something, then everyone would be going like, "Oh, drop the Phaser Lotus thing."
Yeah, they would.
Whatever, but I'm like, it just feels so nice to just like press a button, ship transforms, and all of a sudden shoot like a flood of phaser damage.
Oh.
It's proper Barbie.
Oh, they would. The fact is, you need the console for TAC mode. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you're stuck in science mode on that ship. So, what they would probably be telling you is get a different ship.
Yeah, almost certainly. So, let me switch this over to my interim main. And I'm going to check the exchange because apparently my agri phases have not sold.
Oh, so terrible of them not to sell.
Yeah, I was gutted.
Yep.
Have you actually I actually noticed the straight, well, very subtle kit bash that I've done on this D7?
Don't think I've actually seen a close up enough to do that yet. Let's go swing around here.
So have a look what's either side of the neck, and then have a look on the underneath. This is
Feels like you're doing some of the Romulan stuff on there. I can tell by the scalloping on the back.
Is that easier to see?
Yep, I can see the warbird on there.
Yeah. Because I put the extra cannons on that part of the hull.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, it's a 5-3 layout. So
Yep.
I was kind of thinking, right, the weapons are neither engine. There's one at the front, clearly. So
Yep.
I'm like, I wanted 5 hard points for it. So I'm like, that matches.
Yep. Plus, the Romulan hull, that bird on there is very pretty. Or we can say, his ship got a tattoo. His ship is so Navy, it's got its own tattoo.
I've never heard that one. Right, let's go and make some money on the exchange, and then I'll probably jump off with you.
Alright, when I do that, I'm going to jump over. We're going to start picking up some more skills on my Romulan. You know, the really sad part is, after I get this done, I can probably transfer a lot of this build straight over to my... I can transfer most of this build straight over to a D7.
What, your tank build?
No, this cannon build I'm working on.
I was going to say.
Let's see, where was I? I'm going to get some Miracle Worker on this. That was done.
An RCS.
Okay, that'll be Intel. You're gonna be Torp Leader. You'll need to be. Okay.
No, actually, it's not going for that much anymore. 3.5 million for a beam array.
Oh,
2.8 for a dual beam. Tempted to actually just keep the beam arrays for that, to be quite honest.
I won't blame you.
But I've got 2 of the dual beams and 2 of these normal beams in the bank at this point. Yeah, let's just do that. It's always good to do a lot of hard things.
Sometimes it is.
I've just noticed I've got a sensor link dual beam disruptor in the bank.
Mm.
Why have I got that? When did I get that?
I don't know when you got it.
I need to stop doing this. I see stuff that's like got like ridiculously low priced on the exchange. I'm like, oh, I'll grab that, I'll sell it, and then I completely forget I've got it. Like I've got like 6 ultimate dual beam arrays sat in my inventory, and 4 Zat Bash ones because I picked them all up for like less than a couple of million for the entire lot. Can't sell them.
Yeah, I get to the point I start going, I don't want to get rid of this. Yep. Okay, so basically for anybody who's watching, I do recaps here. I'm rebuilding a point. Basically, I took a Romulan which I had a lot of good equipment on, but lousy officers. And for this cannon build, I basically went and decided to go grab up a bunch of superior Romulan operatives. Because ain't no love like an SRO destroying things.
The more of them you can get, the better.
Exactly, and this whole crew, this whole space crew now is SROs.
Have you seen how many I've got on this Federation D7?
I'm guessing every tactical position's an SRO.
Yeah, I've literally, I kind of discussed it with Mark the other day. And
Same on mine.
why bother doing any heals when DT's tanking? So this is a proper glass cannon. It's a proper glass cannon, as in it'll pick the crap out of you, but you look at it the wrong way and it'll fall apart.
Whereas mine, it's like, unleash everything. We got him, we got him! The cloud clears. He's not dead!
I mean, I've literally only slotted it with a 5% crit chance.
Yeah.
Your crit severity boost. That's the only reason I've slotted it.
Alright, emergency powered engines. By second point was walks to bat. And then I gotta go buy EPW3 from somewhere. But the eventual point after these guys get their first combat experience, I'm going to have to go give them severe cosmetic surgery because, man, sometimes the default officers look really screwed up.
EPW3, is that what you're after?
I need EPW3, Chemosite 1, and an Intel training manual, and Scatter Volley 3.
I'm building you EPW3 now.
Oh, awesome. I can probably might be able to build myself Scatter Volley 3. Let's check this out.
Where are you right now?
I'm on ESD4, but I can head over to DS9 with them. Might as well.
That's fine. I'll come over. It's up to me. I can either go to Solo, you can come to me. I'm not bothered either way.
I can head over to me. I'm gonna go check the exchange since I'm real close.
On the way.
I'll make this easier to get into the same instance too. That'll help us get into the same instance.
Every time I see a scimitar just like floating around wherever, I'm always just like, I really need to finish doing a proper build on it. Considering I made so much effort on it being the first ship that I managed to do over 100k, which kind of sounds laughable now, but
Yeah.
I really get guilty about going back to it and going, I really need to make this good.
Well, apparently I had a pad on this Romulan and I can build Scatter Volley 3, so that's another skill that's taken care of.
You say you can build Scatter Volley 3?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see if I'm missing that. Hold on a second. Say...
If you need it, I can queue it up.
I'm missing it on I'm missing it on 2 of mine, but if you could get me 1 of them for now.
I can give you 2. I'll give you 2.
Okay.
If you're Romulan, I can give you like some blue SRO or science officer SRO.
I found them real cheap on the exchange because I never got any coming up on the whole thing, and I literally built up on them 42 seconds. Boom. I bought a bunch of them, pretty much about 2 million EC total. 5 full officers.
Which intelligence do you need?
I need the pad, and then I need overload subsystem safeties 3.
Okay, I'll do that as well.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll work out well. Okay,
Yep.
engineering's ready. Intelligence will be ready in 20 seconds.
9 seconds. Your 2 scatter volleys will be ready.
Happy doing business with you.
Hey, no problem. This helps out. Everybody.
So it's one of the advantages of being in a fleet rather than going,
I know.
shit, it cost 9 million on the exchange.
Oh,
You
no
just go,
kidding.
who needs it?
Yep.
It swings it roundabouts, doesn't it?
Yep.
It's like one moment you might not be able to build something that's useful, but you know, a couple of months later you'll be able to do something that someone else needs.
Exactly.
It's typical, isn't it? Alright, I've got the 2 of them now.
Here's a fun question. Wait, what does it mean when you look at a bridge officer candidate stats and it doesn't list their skills?
Means your game's bugged and you should probably restart it.
No, there's actually a very specific cause for this one. It means that it's a bridge officer candidate that the game generated prior to Delta Rising. They somehow have their skills stored differently than candidates generated after Delta Rising. So now when you look at the tooltip, it just doesn't list their skills.
How do you find all this information? Do you just get bored during the day?
Well, that particular piece of trivia I learned because of the fact that when when Delta Rising happened, all of my old bridge officer candidates did that.
That's fair enough. How long have you been playing the game, by the way?
And
Come on.
back when the Breen Invasion story arc was new.
That's
So
That
I don't
came
know
out-
what that is. I've only been playing it about a year and a half. So
that's about 10 years.
2011 or so.
About 10 years, roughly. Because I remember the Breen coming out after I joined. Some point after I joined in, I came in roughly about that 10-year mark.
see, I remember playing the game when it first came out about 10 years ago, and I think I played it for about 3 hours. Ran around Space Dock, couldn't work out what I was doing, couldn't work out how to get into the ship, and I was just getting pissed off, and I was just like, shit, never gonna play this. And then I don't know what it was. Obviously, I didn't play it for like 7 or 8 years. And like a year and a half, close to 2 years ago, I just decided to just get back into it. I don't know why. But then I think I was asking a question on the subreddit about something, and then Scissor Lizard messaged me on there and went, "Oh, do you want to join our fleet?" And then he started introducing me to some of the basics. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, this kind of makes a bit more sense now that someone's kind of explaining it." Because the game, let's be honest, at any point, even though it technically has, in quotation marks, tutorials, does an awful job of teaching you about everything. Nothing
When
makes
I first
sense.
started playing the game, I had this really stupid story. The first time I did the tutorial, in the first space combat part, I got confused about what I was supposed to be doing because I couldn't figure out how the camera rotation system worked. And for whatever reason, the camera was facing away from the enemies that I needed to kill, and I had to figure out how, on my own, how to turn the camera by doing things at random before I could finish that part of the tutorial because I just could not see what I was supposed to be killing.
Yeah. It's a peculiar game, but there's something that's quite rewarding when you get far enough into it.
Yep.
I've been playing the game long enough that after the first few characters, I got bored with the idea of just doing everything the same. So I decided to intentionally set up each character to have something different when they do stuff. Which
I've made characters to harvest training manuals for some things.
I kind of do that too because I can make pretty much any training manual that you can do is because I have I think 19 characters and having different stuff on each one of them.
I mean, other than seeing the benefit of being able to refine more dilithium, like by completing the main event on the main, and then doing the ones where it's just like if you do 1 day after the event you get 8,000 dilithium, if you do 2 days you get 9,000. Other than when I get to that, I'm doing it on some of my ults. Like the 3 or 4 ults that I've got, just so I can get more dilithium refined quicker. Other than that, I don't think I'm ever going to be in the point where I'm like, you know what, I'm going to put a significant amount of time into another character. I mean, I'm definitely want to get one built up that I can use for science, because you don't really need the uber expensive stuff with science to do good at science, and maybe one for tanking. But other than that, like you guys, when you got like 19 goons, I'm just like, feels like too much effort. Feels like when I log on, I'll be spending more time flipping between toons than I will be playing the game.
I honestly just don't even try to play every character every day because, I mean, let's face it, that's time consuming even when you only have 19 now. Which is why I like the new event system, because you don't need to do it on every single character.
Yeah, I suppose there is that.
I do wish low-buy costumes were counterbox though, because having like a single character unlocks this. Eh.
Well, low-buy is the last great frontier of cost savings and money making for that.
Yep.
When it comes down to it.
To be honest though, they did have a pretty big demand for it, even if it was account unlocks, because I doubt that there are very many people who are actually willing to get most low-buy things more than once or twice. Unless it's one of those like console packs that everyone probably wants because it's uber amazing.
I mean, true, but even if it's like at a base, let's imagine it like, let's do like some really like, you know, back of a piece of paper mathematics on this. Let's say there's, I don't know, let's for argument's sake say there's 100 people who play the game. If only, say, 25% of it, 25 of the 100 do anything to do with low-buy, lock boxes and stuff like that, which seems reasonable for a free-to-play game. There's probably, of that 25, there's probably 5 that go, I'm going to get these on all of my accounts. So put those 5, because of that, probably make up enough expenditure in the game to account for the other 100. But it would only account for the other 100 because they're having to rebuy things across each of their tunes. So if they've got at least 4 or 5 tunes, which is realistic, I think that's, you know, that's a moneymaker for them. So as long as they don't go, and don't go, to be clear, from a gameplay perspective, I don't agree with it. I think it's stupid. But I understand from a financial perspective that that small percentage is making up the bulk of their ability to have income in the game.
Well,
I agree it's silly, but they'll never do it because of that small percentage.
I know people who have actually gone and done weird things like equipping their entire away team with low-buy weapons.
If you're getting enough stuff, and there is that whole gambling thing, I mean, sometimes the best way to get duty officers is the duty officer packs. Help me get a bunch of low-buy for a couple things, and if you got what you need on your characters for it, then some people do play the ground game and you do the low-buy weapons. So that there is that whole thing too there. All right.
To be honest, it's stuff like the low-buy, the DPRM, the other promo ships they've bought from the exchange over the past however many months and years at this point. It's those stuff why my Booman character will always be my main.
Yeah, same point with Jason. I've spent to get up to where those 400 DPS levels. I spent a lot, especially in time, just building things up to where they are.
Because like it's not. I mean, I guess for me, it's not like I'm ever going to go, oh well, I'm only ever going to do DPS or I'm only ever going to do whatever on this too. It's more a case of I'm willing to do it on the other ones or do the builds on the other ones, but it's extraordinarily unlikely that I'm going to do something that's going to cost money that isn't an account unlock on any other tune, because to me it's just not worth it. Because if kind of think about it, like just like spending what would it be like Zen, like 6,000 Zens, like what, $60 for argument's sake.
Yeah.
It's just like, I've just spent $60 just for the legendary D7. But it's an account unlock. Everything other than the Klingon KDF starter pack, which I don't really care about, but everything else is an account unlock, so it's not too bad. But then if you imagine, say for example, some of the lockbox keys that I've purchased have made the money on to allow me to make enough money to buy the athlete to be able to get the trait. It's all on the one character, on the one tune. There's no way I'm going to spend real world money on my other toons. They're effectively all going to be free-to-play players, unless it's something I'm getting from the account unlock. Probably, I'm guessing the same as what you do with Jason.
Yeah. I mean, when I went for the duty officer points for what I needed, I mean, the extras are going to alts. And when I play and I'm going to have to go, and eventually I'm just going to have to sell some stuff off here and there and get the Borg officers I want for them. That's the last piece of that puzzle.
Yeah, that's where I feel, to an extent, that's where I feel I am with D7. Is the next kind of, you know, not to sound cliched, but the next frontier for me is those Borg duty officers. But when they're 150 plus million
Oh, I
each,
know.
I'm like, right now,
400 for the ones I want.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why kind of like now I'm kind of like, imagine it like when we're in elite I'm looking at this a different way. It's like, if I was to put all of my time, EC, Dill, everything, not just into one character, but into one ship and one build type,
Yep.
I'm sure by now I would have those Borg ships. I'm sure by now I'd be on 500 or 600 kDPS.
Yep.
But that doesn't interest me. I like having a selection of different playstyles that I can just flip between without losing anything by going between different toons.
Exactly.
So I know for me, the premise of going, oh, I'm going to spend 150 million on a DOF, I'm like, you know what, I'd rather spend 300 million on a new ship.
Yep. I mean,
You know what I mean?
general points here are like for I think the reason I went with, I mean, I get characters so I'm doing different builds on mostly because there's stuff I want to keep on Jason, and it's just I don't have room to go hang on to tons of other stuff. So it's good. It's at the point, okay, let's work on a different officer for a little bit and get some of what we need there. Like I'm doing the torp build on a tactical officer to see how that goes. A different tactical officer because it was TOS and I just liked him and haven't done. I'm doing I'm going to see how far I can get with Jason's build down the road and see if I can get pulse phasers on to see how it works with pulse phasers. Literally, I could transfer this over to Jason and do that, but
that reminds me. I remember reading an article a while back where someone managed to hit like 500 or 600 kDPS in a Deridex with torpedoes.
Ooh,
because it has concentrate firepower.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting point with Romulan ships is that decloak alphas will do some ridiculous damage, even if you're using weapons that have a narrow firing arc, because you're just you position yourself where you want, and then you fire everything.
Yep. We always fire everything. You look at Will, you fire at him.
I mean, I remember one of the weirdest builds I've ever heard of someone using was actually a CRF build on Oakwood. Yeah, that KDF thing that barely turns.
Yep.
Because of the fact that it has a cloaking device, and you could harass your enemies by sending your carrier pets to annoy them, and then when they're in the spot you want them, just. But it had to be a decloak alpha build because of the fact that it could not turn to follow the enemy.
Well, right now, this Morgu needs like 2 consoles updated. Here's the House of Martok for my House of Martok console. 3 things update, 4 little things updated here, but it's about ready to take a test run. This could be fun.
What's the build again?
We're running a full cannon build. We're running disruptor cannons. with some torps, and I threw an Omni on there just so the one thing I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put preferential on here, which will be going in a little bit later. So for the moment,
Well, if you guys have a few minutes, there's one thing I wanted to do some testing on that is one of those things where testing it by myself proved to be problematic because of the fact that I just could not get the feedback needed for, well, collect the information. Namely, I wanted to test to see whether the draw fire duty officer that causes it to apply weapons offline to the NPC or character that fired on you actually uses the duty officers that modify weapons malfunction.
be an interesting test.
So what are we waiting for again? So how do you want to test it?
PvP. Basically, to just have like one of you guys shoot at me, and the other one just stand there to see what happens.
Probably wouldn't be a good idea based on the DPS numbers I'm seeing between us two and you, to be blunt.
Well, this is ground PvP. So,
oh, ground PvP. I thought you meant space PvP. Yeah, okay, ground PvP. One shot at me and my character will fall over. My ground build is shite.
Whereas mine, there are points where I just sit in front of Lita, blasting away, healing myself, and she's going, and she can't burn me.
Does anyone know what the Krieger wave disruptor turrets are like? Are they any good?
Krieger waves are kind of...
It has a self-heal proc, if I remember right.
I'll run one on my Gorn, hang on.
No, it's draining control expertise,
yeah.
Plus 25%.
Maybe I think get the ground version.
Coalition of it, to be honest. Disruptor resistance. Okay, so it's based on Coalition's what, the ultimate of disruptors?
Coalition was the meta of disruptors for a while, yeah.
But the trick with Coalition is you need to have the full team use them, or you didn't get the max benefit.
Right.
Or, well, you need to have the full team use disruptors. They didn't necessarily need the Coalition disruptors.
Yeah, I'm running sensor linked into Terran, so hey.
I'm just kind of nickel and diming right now. I'm trying to work what I can upgrade on this.
I'm gonna throw this. I'm gonna throw this thing real quick into a wanted patrol just to see if I see any difference.
Actually, I use Coalition disruptors on my Talaxian character just for the thematic reason.
You should have made a pack lid, just more Alpha Quadrant, slightly even less useless.
I mean, you know, it's a Talaxian, it's someone from the Delta Quadrant. You would expect them to use Delta Quadrant weapons, right?
But packlids need things to make them go.
Packlet, I would probably use some sort of weird hybrid setup where it's like 4 different set weapons that happen to share the same damage type.
Yeah. And then in general note to everybody, remember to save your freaking loadouts because mine got changed. I'll have to wait until I have to go change a couple of things around afterwards. Yeah, I forgot to pick up the torp spread.
Local Eden, looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding.
You built out your D7 ability?
A little bit on my KDF, yeah. I'm doing like hybrid beams and cannons for
What's your
Zava.
overall, what sort of stuff are you building out on it? What type of weapons?
One torpedo, just for a little bit of cannonish to it. The disruptor quad cannon right now, and a couple Zadvash beam. That didn't work too well. Okay.
It's all disruptive.
Yeah, it's all disruptor. Technically, I'm still playing through the missions on there, so it's kind of screwed up when I took this out before I made sure it was done.
You know, if it wasn't for the fact that there's that kind of stuff that people like to look right now in exchange for whatever reason, I would go and do an entire 4-piece Zandback fuel beam set.
Yeah.
But I purchased it for like 20k into the free price thing to people, but it's just not going to be enough for the actual price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right now, it's
I'll jump over to my KDF. I mean, I was going to do a Zadvash disruptor thing on the cannons on the bird, where I got the cannons for it. It's just
these are all new things that I've got.
yeah, I got the dual beams I need though.
The Zadvash disruptor is a bit interesting because of the fact that as far as I can tell, proc on them increases the damage only when it's the Zadvash disruptors. We've seen the different do this before.
And the idea that we're going with is if you've got not just all of your weapons being zapped off, but then you're also using the pets and the fight fire and that sort of thing. When you're using them all together, you can get a really good attempt at blocking, and then at that point, then yeah, that 4% stacking to that. For all intents and purposes, it's never going to proc because no one's ever going to want to pull back off the build because it's not like alternate where you can go, you know, there's a low buy set as well as the normal day-to-day weapons. So you go, oh, this is great. Zartback doesn't have a set. So in effect, they're just kind of generic destructors with a gimmick.
What I was saying about my first thing that was defense sector is because the fact that I'm ready to use one weapon I think it's the Unnamed Counter Command one. It applies a damage over time effect to the enemy, but this is the damage over time effect is worse than happens when it wins. So instead of this damage over time effect, will actually hurt you. Only if you actually use
Yeah. I mean, I said the big theory on the back, but it'd be interesting to be able to do what is in effect. I mean, where everybody other than the main DPS player is using some variation of a weapon that specifically defaults the resistances of the weapon that the DPS players do. So hypothetically everyone has orders, and then the DPS players may be using simulating or something like that. Now, that sort of would be interesting, but the coordination between all of the players are just flat out expenditures that you would need for all of those players to be able to do a decent amount of damage in an ISE with that type of weapon. To make it even viable is just ridiculous. It sounds a bit daft, but hypothetically, is this like if you were to just go like that and fight it, I would quite happily buy both DP and that and set it out for the weapons. But the problem is, by the time you go let's upgrade into that 50, and let's get them all at least built, and give them all the consoles and all the other stuff, all of a sudden just like probably the equivalent of buying the entire promo shit on the trade channel.
Yep.
And yeah, that's why like you think in the game that really annoyed most was way back when they had big ships that were still aircraft. Where you get one of the ship, that's basically is that you get one ship and then if you accidentally discharge it first, that wasn't as much fun. Which again is really like, it's like, well, I want to do this, but I don't have it. You get really, really good at that snow course in the Winter Wonderland when you do it 12 times a day.
Yeah. You can only run the race so many times before you go insane.
Or just commit the entire course to memory, to the point where you can do it more by habit than by action. Like, I actually memorized all of the points in the edges of the track where you can get normal traction without stepping off the track. So it's like, okay, cut this corner just that much, and then angle slightly to the right, then you do a hard twist to the left on this corner, and just like preemptively know exactly when to slide sideways to get the right angle coming out of the corner. And
yeah. All the fun stuff. Let's see how much it costs, just curiously.
Oh, and I've been around long enough to know why you can just run over the last wall in the race. Because the first version of the race, the one where they actually defined the boundaries, didn't have it. Although I think they may have fixed that for the most recent winter event because they said something about how they were like modifying the things, but I don't remember.
I'm gonna go keep a sight off one of my other tunes. Easy enough.
Alright, on that note, I'm going to leave you all to it. So,
I think we're hitting about the end here, so let's go see if we can find somebody to raid. I think we're going to give a raid to Polarcade. So I'm going to say to everybody who's stuck with us for this, as we've been playing around with builds and blowing things up and doing wonderful things in ISE. On behalf of the Darkmom Consortium, this is Darkthorne. I'm speaking for Mom, who's out in the road somewhere. She's driving somewhere. We don't know where yet, but it's somewhere. And she'll be back in the morning, and we'll be back tomorrow afternoon doing something violent. So have fun, take care, and let me get this raid set up.
right, as you look confused there, do say, I'm going to log off for the evening.
Well, I'm getting this all ready here to go. And we're going to have a raid, so good night, everybody.